A cameraman was playing with his drone when something in the water suddenly demanded his rescue. The beach is where you get to see people enjoying themselves without a care in the world. The breeze that the sea blows and salt in the air are enough to cheer up anyone's gloomy day. The beach is always full of life and happiness. A man happened to use his drone during his time at the beach. This took place in a Bahamas beach that had a flood of people. Little did he know that he was about to film a heart-racing incident. He managed to be of help saving a kid from losing his life. If we ask around, there would be a few people who do not know what a drone is. There's no argument about how popular drones have become, so incredibly popular in the last few years. Hence, this incident is not one that should surprise you at all. They are indeed fun to play around with, giving us amazing views that would otherwise be impossible to have. And who are the ones who love these gadgets the most? The answer would definitely be tech lovers. They are most definitely the people who use it the most. However, just because some people love using them, this does not mean that everyone is a fan. There are people who do not condone the use of drones because of their invasion of privacy at times. There are so many videos that have gotten attention worldwide. With the advent of the internet, so many videos have become popular for positive and negative reasons, and the majority of the viral videos that have been taken by the drones usually have scenic footage and husbands or wives catching. There are so many videos that have captured people having affairs. Now, although there is a downside to the use of these gadgets, there must be a good reason why everyone wants to make use of it still. Can you believe that there are times when these gadgets can actually be life-saving? This story is one good example of such an incident. Cameraman Artem Tkachenko was able to rescue a kid in need from the waters of the Bahamas using a drone. This drone user is clearly not a newbie. He is one who had made a name for himself as a skilled cameraman. He has done a lot of brilliant work in photography and videography as well. Tkachenko had a popular following in the YouTube community because of the incredible videos he makes in the Bahamas, capturing the natural scenic beauty there. This incident is one where he was just roaming about the beaches, trying to find gorgeous spots on film. He was getting ready to film more of the amazing crystal blue water and the perfect beaches using his drone. The cameraman was flying the drone above the terrain. He did not realize how crucial it was for him to be doing this right now, that a hobby of his would save a life. This is an experienced cameraman, so he knew exactly what shots he needed for himself. Tkachenko would always prefer a different angle for his photography. To get the shots that he wanted, he did not even need a tripod. He made use of a drone to take some unique shots. Since drones can take photos from angles that a human is not capable of, he loved using them. So as he was spending time at the beach looking for shots to take with him, Tkachenko was focused on his filming. While he was launching his drone to capture the beach, he could see something that was on his screen of his controller. There were various people laying on their sunbeds basking in the sun. It was beautiful, and he did not expect what happened next. And there was one trick of this video that he loved doing. Back in 2017, he had posted videos that swirled over a couple that was laying on the sand in the gorgeous beach. This had become a huge hit, and people loved to watch the breathtaking shots. However, there was nothing that went more viral than his short clip that was posted on 19 December 2017. This video that he posted in December of 2017 filmed the 700 islands of the archipelago. It was indeed a majestic scene to look at, and while on the beach, he had made use of his drone trying to capture what he was experiencing, the ambiance and divine setting. In the clip, the cameraman himself is seen making use of the controller. Soon, something incredible happened. And so Artem is flying the aircraft over the blue waters of the Bahamas, trying his best to film the heavenly sight. He was trying to fit all the happy swimmers and those beautiful people laying under the pleasant sunlight. But as he was trying to capture the beauty of the beach, he ended up filming something that was totally different and far from his intentions. And what he captured was totally unexpected and unplanned, leaving the cameraman himself astounded. Well, it all started when the drone camera was filming a kid running into the waters of the beach, and since Artem wanted to capture people on his film, he was happy with this. He could see him on his screen, so he panned the camera and went where the young swimmer ran. And while he was still filming the boy who ran towards the seawater, he wanted to capture him swimming too. It was clear from the speed and excitement that the boy exhibited that he was ready to dive in the water. And even before looking at the water, he went right in, not even checking if there was danger in the clear blue water. And when the boy went inside the water, the drone still focused on him as he was splashing around. There was no denying how much he enjoyed the water. Artem then repositioned his drone camera when he spotted something in the water that was slowly approaching straight for the kid. The cameraman was quickly alarmed as he took a closer look. As the cameraman paid closer attention to what was seemingly coming towards the boy swimming in the sea, he had no clue what to expect. And as he was on the shore, fixed on the monitor of his controller, he was confused as to what the lurking shadow was. He could not identify what it was, which made him all the more curious to find out what it was. And so what he did was to immediately clarify what the shadow inside the water was, and soon he realized just what the shadow was. To his horror, he could now tell that this was actually a shark behind the boy. The shark was swimming towards the boy, who at this point was still blind about the danger he was in. Artem was traumatized and he let out a loud yell. Artem could not believe what he was showing on his screen. This was something that belonged on the television screen. That too in movies. But no, this was happening right then and there, and his mind was racing where scenes like Jaws or 6 o'clock news was flashing. He was horrified, so it took him a few seconds before he could act and do something about this incident. And the thing that made him worry most was the fact that the boy still playing in the water, completely oblivious to his surroundings. And he had no idea if he turned his back that there were quite a few sharks waiting to feast on him. This was not how Artem had expected his filming to turn out, but he then reacted when his instincts kicked in. When he could see that there was not just one shark, but multiple sharks coming towards the kid, ever so clearly on his controller screen, he freaked out. The man snapped to his senses and gave out a loud scream at the boy, telling him to get out of the water because of what was coming his way. He needed to warn the kid before it was too late. And when this random guy was telling him to get out of the water, the boy needed some time to process what was going on. He needed a few seconds to understand what the warning was all about. As soon as he got to know what was happening, he turned back and saw a few sharks coming his way. One shark was just a few feet from him. What could he do now? As the cameraman looked from his screen, he could clearly see the shark was getting super close, and from what he saw, it was at arm's length to the kid. The shark got so close to the boy, and any second it could result in them devouring the young swimmer with their razor-sharp teeth. The kid saw what was coming, so even he tried running away, swimming to the shore. So when the screen showed the sharks getting too close, the boy ran the last feet. In the end, all he could do was to try and jump to reach the shore. It was clear that he was in a state of panic, that his heart was pounding fast. However, it was a sigh of relief to see that he managed to get on dry land, safe from the clutches of the sharks. Artem did not pan his camera away from the scene. He wanted to know how everything ended, that the boy was safe and sound. When the kid finally reached the shore, he looked back at the sea and could clearly see the sharks in the water. He hurriedly ran towards his parents to get secure. And in the background, the sharks could be seen retreating, seemingly cursing their bad luck. And so in the end, the boy could safely get back to the safety of his parents' arms. Had he not been warned by Artem, then his fate would have turned out completely different. And what did Artem have to share about this entire incident? Well, he certainly did not look at himself as the hero. Even though he played a crucial role in saving the boy, he did not feel like a savior. And just like that, using the drone he was filming the beach with, Artem managed to save the life of a little boy who could have been otherwise chewed up by vicious sharks. And although he ended up saving the kid's life, Artem revealed that he was only thankful the boy could hear him before anything bad happened. He told the interviewers, "Thank God he heard me." And also, this could have turned out a lot different, a lot worse, if it had not been for the cameraman's quick, and sensible response. This would have probably had a very different outcome if the boy did not hear the cameraman's warnings. But there are some viewers who watch the clip on YouTube who claim that this kid was never actually in trouble. Social media is a place where people often post their unfiltered opinion and views on topics. So when this video was posted on YouTube, there were a lot of people who had a lot to say. Some were a little skeptical about the whole video, while some felt the trauma that it filmed. People on the internet had a lot of clashing views on this. So what exactly did people have to say regarding Artem's video? Well, a whole many were thankful for how fast Artem had reacted. There were others who disagree. Some have even said that this incident was not as horrifying as it appeared. After looking at the video, these clashing views both have a good point. They could definitely be right or wrong. So after the video went viral, there were people who pointed out that the sharks on the camera were not the great white sharks. In case you have not heard, people are terrified of these sharks for a very good reason. There have been numerous great white shark attacks being recorded. Some have left their comment on YouTube revealing that these are nurse sharks. And it turns out these nurse sharks are not as ferocious as the video claimed them to be. In fact, these sharks hold no threat to any human being. These sharks are known to use their tiny teeth only if they require to defend themselves. All these people have a very valid point, and they could be true. However, Artem had a good response. After some people pointed out that the video was misleading, Artem gave an explanation. He responded to the people's comments on his video, revealing that he had been staying in the Bahamas beaches for quite some time, and the video captured 2 species of sharks. It turns out that these nurse sharks had some acquaintances that were a lot more terrifying. The cameraman had seen what the people in his comments section were arguing about, so he had decided to clear that air. And he responded explaining the 2 types of sharks. And there was one kind of shark that absolutely loves a good human meal. A boy would have been an easy target for sure. Also, even if the sharks were not harmful to the boy, being careful is always a good idea. And although there were some people who argued that the video was not as scary as it was portrayed to be, Artem's capture was indeed a suspenseful scene. With the use of his drone and hobby, he ended up saving the life of a boy in need. A regular tripod or camera could not have captured this. What would have been your reaction if this had happened to you? And to those who may not have had the chance to see the video, the clip was only 30 seconds long. However, the cameraman felt like it took forever to get the boy out of the dangers of the water safely back to the shore. He must have definitely felt heavy as he was filming the whole scene. It was definitely a lucky instance that the boy and Artem were on the beach that same day. Artem had become a lifesaver using one once-in-a-lifetime shot. We certainly hope that the boy learns to double-check before he dives into any water from now on. The Bahamas is full of exotic fish and sharks, and there is a practice of feeding sharks. The question of whether the boy was ever a possible meal will never be answered, but we are glad no one lost a life that day.